Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the HackShack. It's September again, so you know what that means. It's also Septandy. Now, I've got something for you today. Don't get upset. It's not a computer, but it did come from Radio Shack. And I'm talking about the cool little 1980s Armatron robot arm. Like I said, it's not a computer, but it does technically have the Tandy name on it. So is that okay?
I'll allow it.
I grabbed this one off of eBay a while back. Quite a while back, actually. January of 2022. And it's been in storage for a while. I got it thinking, hey, this will be neat. I can play with it, maybe as a little gag thing for Septandy. And I kind of wanted to play with one of these again because I had one when I was a kid. Pretty sure this one was sold as not working. So, sometimes that means that they tried it and it didn't work. Sometimes that means they couldn't be bothered to find some D cells that this thing takes. So who knows? We shall see. So maybe it'll work. Maybe it's a battery bomb mess. I've been putting off looking at it until I had a good chance to share it with you. When I was in second or third grade, attending the prestigious Florida Street Elementary School in Clinton, South Carolina, my mom picked me up for some reason. I can't remember exactly why, but it was also report card day. Usually I just walked or rode my bike to school. And in the back seat was a brand new Armatron. And to little me, it was the coolest thing ever. It had joysticks, a claw gripper. It looked like something NASA would use. In reality, it didn't have that great of precision, but when you're a kid, it was basically cutting edge robotics. I remember opening mine up back then, like literally opening it up to see what was inside. And it turned out to be nothing but a giant pile of gears, if I remember correctly. And I never got that thing working again after that. So that kind of sucked. Maybe this can be my redemption shot. All right, so this is basically what I've got here. And see, it looks like it's in fairly okay shape. There's a little dent here in this little accordion thing, a couple of those. That's not that big a deal. One thing that does bug me, if you look how these little, these little hoses don't serve any purpose or anything, but they've got that look like maybe they were against styrofoam in the box for a while, and you know how that kind of will eat up stuff? That's what that looks like to me. I bet maybe later I can possibly get something like this from the auto parts store, maybe some vacuum hose or something, if it bothers me enough to try to do something about. We shall see. And also it came with these little accessories here, but we'll talk about these more later. All right, so I don't have any D cells handy, and I don't have a real proper bench power supply for testing things, with current limit and all that, but I do have this, and I've actually been wanting to have a reason to play with it for a while. So I'm gonna try this and try the 3.3 volt line. I'm not sure if it'll work right, but I'm going to try it anyway. Also, I've never opened this thing up, so let's see. Cross our fingers here, and I hope that the bottom, hey, there's a little bit of dust, but that's relatively clean. There's a little bit of stuff on there. You can tell it was probably kind of gross. I might have to throw another shot in here to show you what that looks like, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. All right, so these are D's. Let me see if I can get some jumpers over here and we can apply some power. If I remember correctly from when I was a kid, I think a motor just starts running the whole time. Not doing anything. All right, I guess we will open this thing up and see what we have going on inside. And while I'm thinking about it real quick, let's just check the output of this power supply before I go tearing the thing apart. Looks like that's okay. Whoop! Where did that screw go? Oh man! Oh, there it is. Woo. Okay, let's keep these together. Whoa! Okay, that answers that question. Guess we just do some basic test of continuity, right? Got all that crust, a good bit of crust right there. Oh, let's see. Is the switch working there? Huh. Is that the problem? Yeah, that switch should be closed. It's touching, but it's not touching great. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're touching, but maybe there's a bad spot right there. Huh. So I'm gonna just go straight to here. And that short on the all right, that's popped. This is on. So let's see if the motor turns. Cross your fingers. Hey! Yeah, watch the timers move. Okay. Look, the little timers move, and if you can see it kind of going. I mean, that's obviously, I guess they're barely touching or something. What I do here is take this little tab off and bend it a little bit and give it a test. And that actually did show that it was connecting okay. But after that, I go ahead and use a little deoxit and a swab and kind of clean both of those sides off and give that a shot. Okay, turn this on, turn this on. Hey. Okay. I mean, maybe that's okay. And that seemed to have the switch sorted out. And while I had it open, I went ahead and tried to clean off all this corrosion on that terminal. That is probably okay for right now. Nope. Oh, man, can I get this thing back together? Ooh, I think it goes like that. That way it can catch this gear right here. There's a little gear that catches it right there. So that must be where that goes. It's got to be. After getting it put back together, I rigged up some jumpers to the power again. Well, I actually had to hold one in place and turned it on and noticed that things were working as expected, which was really cool. It's freaking working. How about that? That's so cool. All right. Oh, so essentially it was just this switch, I believe, and some corrosion to clean up. And we can blow this thing off a little bit. I want it to be perfect. I can replace these, but I don't have to do that today. So I did manage to find some D cells at the store, and they were not cheap. Wasn't excited about what I had to pay for them. And you'll notice that one of the little hoses is missing there. I went ahead and pulled one off so I could take it by the parts store at some point and see if I could find a matching piece of vacuum hose or something that I could use for that. And you'll see I get the batteries in there, turn it on, and it is just working like a champ. With all of that done, the last thing I wanted to try was the game that's actually included in the original instructions, and that's where those accessories in the Ziploc bag I showed you earlier come into play. I had a lot of fun messing with this thing and getting it back working. Sure did stir up a lot of old memories. Did any of you out there have these back in the day? Throw it down in the comments below. Hey, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.